Hello?
Hey, Casey, this is Kate Carmody.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
Good. I was expecting it to ring. It didn't ring.
No problem.
Okay. Can we get started real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit, first your name, a little bit about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. My name is Casey Gaumer, and I am a sales account executive for WSOC TV. We're the ABC affiliate here in Charlotte, and sort of how I got here is an interesting story. I used to be a news reporter for NBC and Fox in Wilmington, North Carolina, right after college. So I did that for 2 years, and while I loved it, for a couple of reasons, I decided to make a few changes, and I moved to the Virgin Islands, which I'm sure you weren't expecting to hear.
No, definitely not.
Yep. But I just wanted to go, just let loose for a little bit and sort of broaden my horizons, if you will. So spent a year there and then moved to Lake Norman and basically pestered my way into a job here at WSOC. I had no sales experience, but wouldn't really take no for an answer. And it took, several months to land this job, but I think the persistence that I showed, really helped me.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your process, about how you go about selling something and what you actually do.
Absolutely. First of all, I sell TV commercials, online advertising, and mobile advertising. And so basically what I do is, I think the key part about sales is prospecting, knowing who would be a good prospect. So, a one-store location, let's say a restaurant, might not be the best fit for us. So looking for, businesses I think might be able to afford it and will, obviously turn into an, ROI for them. And then coming up with a valid business reason, instead of just calling and saying, I'd like to learn more about your business. Can I stop by, and sort of getting in, in the door that way, which sometimes can work. But I like to come up, with a valid business reason. Why would they want to meet with me? And instead of focusing on, how great my TV station is and how they should really want to work with me, I like to focus on, how I can help them. And I think it's important to spend a lot of time before you call someone, sort of researching their company, so you can, understand them and understand their industry and give them, a reason that they want to work with you.
Okay. And this wasn't on the question list, but around how much does it cost for a business to invest in advertising with Channel 9? I know it varies.
Oh, yeah, it's going to vary because, we have some clients who just, want to advertise on WSOCTV.com, which is our internet site. And I would say, anything less than like $2,500 probably would not be, wouldn't show you a lot of results if you did anything less than that. So I'd say an average spend is like $3,000 to $5,000. And TV-wise, I would say an average is about $10,000 a month.
Okay. And who are some of the big clients that you see?
Sure. Well, obviously car dealers are going to be number one. They're, very big into broadcast and online advertising. I'd say some of our other key categories is healthcare. Some of the larger practices and larger hospitals in town. We see a lot of home improvement as well, roofers. HVAC is a huge category, and so HVAC is heating and air conditioning companies. I would say are definitely high up there.
Okay, how have you had to change what you do based on the economy? I know people aren't jumping to, especially car dealers aren't jumping to advertise.
Absolutely. It's making people feel comfortable already, with the economy. I think people, they're a little bit more hesitant to invest their money because, money is tighter and they're, feeling that pain sometime in their businesses. So I think taking it slow and making them feel comfortable and showing them instead of just jumping in and saying, this is what you should do, take the time to really figure out, what their key marketing challenges are. For instance, get sort of, really dig deep. What are they really wanting to accomplish with a marketing campaign so that they feel that when they invest with you, they're not even going to be wasting $1 doing it. And I think that helps a lot if you can build that relationship and make them feel comfortable.
Okay. Well, what are the biggest challenges that you have, especially transitioning from, journalism to sales, or just in general? What are your biggest challenges that you face every day?
You have to, I think a big challenge is learning how to keep going even after you hear, a no. You have to go through a lot of no's before you get to a yes. So I think that, sales can be a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. It's 100% commission business on my side. And so when you do have a client, let's say cancel, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, or you have a run of bad luck, let's say, you're hearing a bunch of no's, it's easy to get discouraged, and I think that that's been a challenge for me is trying to, remain positive and, keep my head up. And as, every month I'm getting better. I'm coming up on being at WSOC TV for 2 years. So as I'm learning more about the product and increasing, my business, how, many clients I work with, it's getting a lot easier.
Okay. So tell me about if someone was interested in starting in sales, kind of what experience do people usually have when they first come in, and what kind of qualities make a really good broadcast salesperson?
Sure. Okay. So that's an interesting question because, if you would have asked me 5 years ago in this business, how you would get in, I would say, you need to go up the ranks, maybe sell for, radio or, some magazines or newspapers and start off with something a little smaller. But I was hired with no sales experience, and they're starting to realize, at least my organization, that sometimes it's better to start with someone who's very green in sales so they can help mold, the way they want you to sell. Not to say that, they're trying to take over my brain by any means, but, I don't have any bad habits per se, that I need to unlearn. So I would say definitely don't get discouraged if you're coming, right out of college and trying to, get a job in sales. I think what's going to help set you apart from, other people who might be applying for that position is how aggressive and persistent you are. Not just sending in, a resume. Come up with something creative to send in your resume. I would send weekly emails to my current sales manager at the time. He was the person that was trying to get to hire me. Top 10 reasons why you should hire Casey Gaumer, And you might think that you might be pestering them, but when you're doing something out of the box that makes you stand out from your competition, then that's going to, send signals off in their brain, well, if they're being that creative with me, obviously they're probably going to be that creative coming, trying to work with clients as well. So I think persistence and creativity, and you got to be aggressive.
Okay. Do you have any good sales stories, anything that would be like a good example to share with them? Or
Absolutely. When I first started, I just got out my yellow pages and different magazines and newspapers and just started calling anyone and everyone just to, try to get some appointments. It's a little different how I work now. But at the time, this particular company was the fourth business that I called, and that was about 2 years ago. And it's a very large HVAC company. And, I worked with them and just, sort of told them, we're number one. We're the number one TV station. This is why you need to work with us. And it just didn't work, and they kept saying no. And then when I finally sort of, realized, this type of selling isn't going to work. Like, I need them to understand I care about their needs and sort of going about it in a different manner. Everything changed. It took me about 8 months to do, but I turned them into one of the biggest clients on the entire TV station, as a rookie. So not only, did that, improve my self-esteem and help my checkbook, but it also helped management here realize, okay, we hired a good egg.
How the business benefited?
Yes, the business, the heating and air company, and basically they started seeing, results fairly quickly. But after being on the station for about a year, I think their business has basically doubled. They've had to hire new employees, put new trucks on the road, so they're definitely seeing a return on investment.
Great. Any other advice or anything that you want to share with the students for people just starting out and they're just taking a class in sales? They're
Sure.
just one of the things they just learn about, with options available to them when they graduate.
Absolutely. I would say one of my favorite quotes is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I think that's a good, sort of lesson in life. If you don't try to go for the job or try to go for that new client, let's say after you are hired somewhere, how would you ever know that, it wouldn't have worked out? So I would say definitely be aggressive and at least put your foot out there and try to do it. And you might be surprised on what happens on the other end.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
No
I appreciate
problem.
it.
No
Say
problem.
hi to everyone for me.
Great.
Okay.
I will. Thanks, Kate.
All right. Bye.
Bye.